So I get the New York Times delivered to my house every morning. I also get the New York Post and the Journal. But the first thing I do, crack open the Post, best paper in America. And then I open the Journal, and when I get around to it, I look at the Times. You have to see what the enemy's up to. But they also have some good reporting out there. And on the front page today, I see the headline, EPA's pledge for Ohio town is met by doubt. I said to myself, wow, it's about time the Times covered the story. I didn't need the Times to tell me that the people of Palestine doubted the EPA. We've been doing the story all week. We've been talking to the people there all week. We sent a producer out there this week. So the Times reporting jives with Primetime's reporting. These people don't trust the government because the government hasn't given them a reason to trust them. And we can go down the list. Why? The story ends on page A17, and then next to it was a second story on the toxic train wreck. And this story was by Stuart Thompson. The headline, Chernobyl 2.0, feverish speculation after derailment, fire, and toxic smoke. So Stuart Thompson of the Times, he is saying that right-wing commentators are speculating that the toxic train wreck could be really catastrophic, and people shouldn't trust what the government tells them. Yeah, guilty as charged. The New York Times then mentions this show, quote, you better punch in at 9 a.m., Ohio, even if it means inhaling mustard gas on the way in, said a sarcastic Jesse Watters over a title reading, Ohio town looks like Chernobyl. The New York Times, who feverishly speculated that gas stoves were ripping your kids' lungs out and plastic straws and SUVs were going to end the world in 10 years, they're now worried that Americans like me are speculating that dumping 500 tons of toxic chemicals in a small town could cause cancer. How dare I worry about my fellow Americans? How dare I feverishly speculate that a town's drinking water's been poisoned by a rich train tycoon? It's not speculation to say that toxic chemicals are bad for you. That's why they're toxic, Stuart. You think it's a coincidence that people are experiencing side effects when you get 500 tons of toxins spilled into your neighborhood? I hope someone's going to feverishly speculate. It would be stupid not to. I think there was some feverish speculation going on during the COVID pandemic. We weren't allowed to go to work for a year and a half or see our grandparents or send our kids to school. But in the next line of the piece, the New York Times says, quote, the EPA acknowledges the situation in East Palestine is disastrous in many ways. So the EPA says it's disastrous, and Jesse Watters Primetime says it's catastrophic. Oh, you really got me there, Stuart. And then the New York Times is angry that, quote, some non-scientists are speculating that the airborne concentration of vinyl chloride was dangerously high, rebuffing the EPA's assessment that the air was safe. So you're a non-scientist right-winger if you don't think East Palestine is safe to live in, even though if you go to the derailment site, it still looks like this.
You ask the workers around here, which are about maybe 7 different groups of them, and they say, I don't know where the trains are. Then you go across the street and you find what looks like a graveyard of all of these train cars just piled up, waiting to be picked apart and taken out of the area. This is just down the street from a residential area. Multiple cars, train cars that are completely destroyed.
So only scientists are allowed to have opinions about trusting the government. The New York Times is saying only the educated trust the government. If you don't have a PhD in environmental science and your children are breaking out in hives and you're coughing and the air smells funny, you're just a right-winger, feverishly speculating that it might have something to do with a toxic train wreck in your backyard. Even though the New York Times says the EPA warning that airborne contaminants can settle on surfaces, seep into wells, and migrate through cracks into basements and homes. Is Stuart Thompson the dumbest reporter at the Times? He just reported that the EPA said wells can be contaminated and toxins can seep into people's homes. But I can't speculate about how dangerous this is because I'm not a scientist. If I say don't drink the water, I'm a conspiracy theorist, even though the water looks like this.
Let me just show this to people. I don't know if you're going to see this on camera, but watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting.
Don't worry, little Stuart says chemicals can only kill fish, not humans. Wait a second, does Stuart have a science degree, or is he just taking the word of the government at face value? Well, what if little Stewie from the Times was on well water in Palestine? Would he feel safe? Would little Stuart run a bath, wash his dishes, do his laundry after seeing this?
Can you see it all right there?
It is
all
interesting.
floating down the water, and it's continuing to bubble. Can you see it all the way down?
Yes, you can certainly see that.
Let me give you another one. While Peyton is there, I'm going to throw another one right here. Okay, now see if you can see anything pop up. Can you see it all bubbling up right there?
Yes. Is that exactly what
Does
you're
that
talking
look like
about?
something you'd want to? Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Would you bathe, drink anything in this water?
But Stuart says the EPA says everything's fine. And then he writes, right-wing commentators were quick to the draw with conclusions of their own. How dare we draw our own conclusions, think for ourselves, trust our gut, question the government who's lied to us about everything. Only the New York Times is allowed to draw their own conclusions. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're just supposed to agree with experts. Well, where are the experts? They're not anywhere near East Palestine.
The only way I'm going to feel good about anything that's going on here is when they come down off of their pedestals, come to East Palestine, drink the water, bring their kids, make baby formula, and take their kids, play basketball, and where I'm at. Right here, I'm at ground zero practically right now. I don't feel safe. I haven't seen any ground testing as far as my kids can go play basketball outside. My kids can ride their bicycles, play in puddles. I haven't seen any of it. I want to see that, and until I see that, I don't believe any of it.
But the people of East Palestine aren't scientists, so they're not supposed to question what the government tells them, right? This country was founded on not trusting the government. And now the New York Times wants the people of East Palestine to just drink and shower and shut up and take the government at its word? They lied to us about clean drinking water before. The Messiah himself, Barack Obama, lied about Flint, Michigan's drinking water.
Can I get some water? Come on up here. I want a glass of water.
Get a bottle. Bottle water.
I want a glass of water. Everybody settle down. This is a feisty crowd. Thank you. I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
What? He wet his lips. He did not drink it. He didn't sip it. He wet his lips.
There was an audible gasp in the audience. People were just like absolutely dejected. Why would you do that?
Did you know the same government is fighting off hundreds of lawsuits from Americans with cancer who drank the water at Camp Lejeune? Do you know what was in the water at Camp Lejeune that gave everybody cancer? Vinyl chloride, the same chemical, 500 tons of it, in fact, that was dumped on East Palestine. Does the New York Times even know about that? Well, they should. They reported on it. Does Stuart even read his own paper? Does Stuart just take whatever the government tells him at face value and just types it? Because guess where the government gets their information from? The rail company that spilled the chemicals. They hired a ringer contractor to test the air and the water in Palestine. The EPA doesn't do any testing. The rail company does the testing. The EPA says, yeah, we tested it, even though they didn't. And the New York Times says everything's fine. Now, since when does the New York Times take the word of a sloppy $55 billion rail company whose rickety train just poisoned a town? When just last year, Norfolk Southern had over 650 accidents while carrying hazardous materials. And they've had a history of polluting creeks in Ohio and even covered up the contaminated soil. You want the people suffering to trust the guys who are stiffing them when they're trying to, wave waivers in their faces and trying to hand them $1,000 checks. It's chump change. A $55 billion company with their CEO, Alan Shaw, last year made $8 million. Lives in a real nice home. They don't think East Palestine deserves better? This is sleazy, and they're not going to get away with it. We're not going to take their word for anything, because standing up for the little guy is never a bad thing, despite what the New York Times says. So we're going to keep fighting.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.